Hi there everybody, John JMC here. So some of you will have seen the video I put out the other day with regards to the Little Layout Company's MLC or Model Light Control. And basically I just thought I'd do a quick little video just explaining how it all connects and how you can basically wire yours up yourself, basically, just to make it nice and simple for you. So I'll start with the connectors and then I'll basically explain each one. So this one here is basically just coming from a little 12 volt 1 amp power supply with a little barrel connector on the end of it. You can also put the power into those two pins there, and basically it's one or the other, basically, so whichever way you want to do it. So if you've already got like a transformer with 12 volt coming from it, you can connect it there, or you can buy yourself a barrel connector from there. The really cool feature about this particular one, this unit, I've used similar sort of units in the past. Unfortunately, none of them are available anymore. But it actually has two LED plus outputs, which is really handy because you've got two LED light strips, so you're not having to pair two wires into the one connector. So that's a really useful thought there that's been put into this design of this unit. Red, green, blue. Obviously, red, green, and blue negatives are coming from this particular light strip here. And then you've got the white one there, which is the black wire there, just go into the black wire just there as well. We've got the switch terminal here as well, so SW plus and SW minus, and that's for basic powering things like street lamps or building lamps. So all I've done is I've just connected it to this little single LED just in the corner here, and that's basically going to switch on and off as you need to. Now, the config file on this is really simple to do, so what I'll do is I'll do a quick little talk through with that as well. But at the moment, what I've got it set up. So we've literally got a minute nighttime, minute daytime, and then basically it will just transition between the two settings with the 10 seconds in between. So there we go. As you can see, it's going to daytime now, and then what will happen is the LED there will just turn off like it has done. There we go. So basically we're in daytime now. So carry on talking for a minute, and basically what we'll see it go to nighttime, and then all the effectively the street lights and the building lights will come back on from that unit there. So really nice, simple connection. The two crop clips that you see here and here, they're basically just a quick way to get it onto DCC, just so I can show that the actual DCC side of it works, as opposed to other systems that I've used in the past, which don't work. Excuse me. So we'll just turn it off and we can turn it on via the DCC just there. So that's really useful, especially when you're working on the layout. You can set it to auto, you can set it to manual, and you can set night and day using the DCC commands. Really handy, especially when you've got this box mounted somewhere where it's not accessible. So really useful. The user button just here is basically for switching between the pot time, the timer there. There's a little screw pot in there that you can basically adjust, and that's got like I think it's a minimum of 5 minutes on that one. But you can basically swap between the config file or the timer pot there, basically, and that basically allows you to adjust the times the suit. So if you're not au fait with config files, or you don't want to do it, you can literally just push the user button and set the timer on that there. And basically by doing that, all you're doing is basically push the button and you'll see the little LED in there is basically lit. So that's basically saying it's working off that timer pot. Turn it off, and that's basically now back onto the config file. The period light is just to basically show that it's counting down, and then the program button there will just be used for software updates in future. But that's all in the manual, guys. So do go and have a read of it. It's all on Little Layout Company's website. So do check that out. And the handy thing is as well, he also has a very useful configuration tool on his website as well. So you can adjust all the timings and everything to suit. Then you can download a config file, and it's a case of literally just use the USB on the bottom of the unit just there. You can plug in, and then basically you'll see it pop up on your screen. There's a README file, and then there's a config file. And all you're basically doing is the downloaded config file that you've taken from his website. You basically just drag and drop that into place. Of course, Windows will do the usual thing of saying, are you sure you want to replace the same file in the designation? So of course you say yes, and that's it. Nice and simple. So I've talked a bit about the unit, but what I'll do now is I'll basically just cut to the actual screen and I'll talk you through the configuration tool. So bear with me a second. Right, so we're on his website. And basically this is the config tool we've got here basically. So what we can do is we can literally go down. So these are the DCC addresses I mentioned earlier. So as I say, I've got mine set to 401, 402 and 403. And then basically all the different DCC addresses. Now this is the scene transitions. So you can basically say you want it to take 10 seconds between the transition of each scene, or in my case, I will go for a full minute. And then what we can do down here is we can also scroll down and adjust all the settings. So daytime, I'm going to set for around 60 minutes. So I get an hour daytime. I've already changed these to 200, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crank the white right up there. And I don't want the street lights on during the day, so I won't enable the switch. If I now go to the night scene, it's a case of I want that to last for 30 minutes. So I can adjust it there. 30 minutes, and then you can adjust the color settings from there. And of course I do want the street lights to come on, so it's a case of we do that there. And then once you come down here, it's a case of there's all the file all set up ready to go kind of thing. So we can literally just click download, you'll see it appear there. Obviously I've already done one at the moment, but so config 1 we'll need, but we'll need to change the name of that. So it's my fault. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll just quickly delete both of those. Start again. It's because I've basically got it in a horrible folder, so I do apologize for that inconvenience there. So yeah, normally what you do is, as I say, you hit the button there, download, there we go, config.txt. So that's now come up. Right, so bear with me a second, I'll just get it on screen again. So what we will do now is we'll plug in the USB-C. That's basically now brought up a window here, which you can see. So there is config and readme. Now that file has gone into my downloads, so it's just there. So if I now drag and drop that into place, replace this file in the destination, yes. So that's now copied that across, boom, bang, we're done. So now it's a case of I can disconnect from there, give the unit a power cycle, or you don't even need the power. Saying that, you don't really need the power on whilst you do it, but I did in this case. And then it's a case of once you turn it back on, your unit is then going to basically behave to these settings that you've given it with the config tool. So anyway, I hope that's a little bit of a brief overview into the unit itself. As I say, do check out the manual. You can download a PDF version of it on the website here as well. But it's quite literally a case of it's nice and simple. You don't, people look at the things like JSON coding here and get panicked by it, but it's a case of this config tool is basically designed to make it nice and simple for you guys. So yeah, give it a go. Let us know how you progress, and by all means, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.